Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including what would it take for John Cena to come out of retirement, a legend shows off an insane body transformation, Conor McGregor is unhappy with Roman Reigns, is a WWE return on the horizon, TNA is doomed, the real reason why a tag team left WWE, a WWF wrestler passes away, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's see the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at what would it take for John Cena to come out of retirement. Our top story looks at new comments from WWE legend John Cena, as Cena has addressed what one thing could influence him to wrestle again. During an appearance at SpaceCon San Antonio, Cena addressed the possibility of stepping foot in a WWE ring as an active wrestler again, and Cena stated that Elon Musk may influence him to come out of retirement. I think the only person that can convince me to come back given the recent events would be Mr. Elon Musk, and he'd have to give up a whole lot of his fortune to do so. So until he does that, I'm gonna stay retired. Now of course Cena was just joking here, yet the possibility of Cena wrestling again thanks to a substantial donation from Elon Musk is certainly crazy to think about. Next up is Roman Reigns getting a manager. But could Roman Reigns be about to get a new manager? Well, Stephen A. Smith has revealed on his podcast that he has thought about entering WWE and managing Reigns as a heel manager. This is interesting as it was reported after WrestleMania this year that WWE were interested in bringing Smith into the fold. Will they do so now, and could he be Roman Reigns' manager? Next up, a legend shows off an insane body transformation. Paul White, aka The Big Show, is taken to Instagram to show off his rather incredible body transformation. In the post, the former WWE champion expressed that he's now had 11 surgeries, but he's starting to see positive results. White isn't officially retired as things stand, and he's still looking to have a few final matches in AEW before calling it a day in the ring. Next up, Conor McGregor unhappy with Roman Reigns. Conor McGregor has spoken out regarding Roman Reigns being shown at UFC Freedom 250. McGregor was asked about Reigns being shown on screen during a recent street interview, and this is what he had to say. I don't know, they being the UFC should have platformed our own combatants. Put them next to these guys. Put our guys next to these guys. So who the F are you? What's up? Let it be seen by the public and they would have something to look forward to on our side. Bouts to look forward to, guys to look forward to. Remember, these guys crashed here and there. It builds the story. Now, a lot of fans believe that TKO is building towards McGregor possibly entering WWE. It's unclear if this is on the horizon, yet TKO and WWE would never miss a chance to introduce another big celebrity onto WWE television. A McGregor vs Reigns match would be a huge deal, however it's possible that Reigns has zero interest in the match. But it's interesting that McGregor's openly called out Reigns twice in the space of a matter of days. Next up is a WWE champion unhappy with creative. A Cody Rhodes podcast this week made for a fascinating listen, as the reigning WWE champion discussed his WWE creative. As we all know, Rhodes' creative has been questionable recently, and Rhodes stated that the pivots keep coming his way. You know, here's something that I've adopted at Backstage and the Real Cameras app. They've seen me say it enough that I feel like they now know what I mean. But we run in all these situations where it's WrestleMania this year, for example, or the title change in Germany. And let's pivot, let's make some different moves in all this. And oh, here's a lot of momentum behind Drew. Do people love Drew? And as they should, he's awesome. Rhodes would add that people tell him these pivots and creative pitches aren't good enough for him, but he insists that he can survive whatever WWE throws at him. I always tell people because people will say, I don't know if that's good for you or and I don't know if I mean it arrogantly. I think I just mean it from my own experience, but what I tell them is I can survive it. Rhodes would definitely be justified in taking aim at WWE creative, however it would probably be a bad look if the face of the company is ripping apart the creative portion of WWE on a WWE produced podcast. Next up, Cody Rhodes' good deed revealed. Cody Rhodes on his podcast this week also discussed a new contract. This contract related to Wheatley Vodka, and he stated that he added a clause in the contract that the company uses a WWE legend for the TV portion of the advertisements. I did a contract recently, it's not anything major life-changing. Our friends at Wheatley are indeed our friends at Wheatley. I did this contract recently and I put in the end, I said I just want to select a legend for the TV portion. You want a what? I wanted to select the legend. I want to be able to put someone from the Hall of Fame group or one of our own legends of those guys. I've come to realize my only answer for why, it's because it's the right thing to do. Now this is really awesome of Rhodes to do, and it's his way of giving back to the wrestlers of yesteryear. Next up, Danhausen breaks character. Outside of a few rare out-of-character interviews over the years, Danhausen rarely breaks character. But in an interview yesterday, he managed to blur the lines between kayfabe and reality extremely well. Danhausen spoke to Stephen A. Smith yesterday and he stated that Danhausen was a thing prior to WWE, but now he has the backing of the WWE machine, which means he can ascend to even more. I think that's why Danhausen's at the WWE, because Danhausen has made Danhausen a thing prior to that, and then he came there, and now he has the backing of the biggest company of the world, of World Wrestling Entertainment. And then that leads to ESPN asking for Danhausen and Stephen A. Smith asking for Danhausen to be on his wonderful TV show and all that. So I think you just have the vehicle behind you, and then you could just ascend even more. You have the backing of the machine. Danhausen has become one of the fastest rising stars in pro wrestling, as he's one of the most popular names in the entire company, and according to WWE champion Cody Rhodes, he's a top merch seller in the entire promotion right now. Next up, the Saturday night's main event poster revealed. Speaking of Danhausen, he's being used to promote the next Saturday night's main event special from Madison Square Garden. The poster dropped on social media today, and this likely means that Danhausen will be in a featured match on the show. Just yesterday, WWE had filed a trademark for human monies, and there was even discourse on social media yesterday of the idea of Danhausen winning the Money in the Bank due to all the merchandise and puns WWE could profit from it. Next up, sad news as a WWF wrestler passes away. Some sad news to share now as the Duke of Dorchester Pete Doherty has passed away. The longtime enhancement wrestler for WWF passed away at 81, and the news was announced by the Cauliflower Alley Club yesterday afternoon. The Cauliflower Alley Club is saddened to hear the unforgettable Pete Doherty has passed away at the age of 81, known to fans everywhere as the Duke of Dorchester. A true character in professional wrestling who brought charisma along with a larger-than-life personality to every arena he stepped into. We send our sincerest condolences to his family and friends. Doherty was well known for his ability to get other talent over, and one of his most notable accolades saw him wrestle on the inaugural Saturday night's main event. We'd like to extend our condolences to the family and friends of Pete Doherty. Next up, a WWE return on the horizon. Now, having exited WWE back in 2024, former WWE interviewer Kayla Braxton has revealed that the head of creative Triple H told her that the door for a potential return is always open.
Triple H did say that to me. He said the door is always open here, which is such a nice thing to hear from your boss when you're the one walking away. And I hope so. Look, I don't think I see myself going back in the same capacity. But when I left, I just hoped I can go away, kind of create my own brand for myself. You know, it takes time because I don't want to always be. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I just didn't always want to be WWE's Kayla Braxton because I had so much more I wanted to do.
Braxton was said to be extremely popular backstage, and she even managed to build and maintain a friendship with Paul Heyman. So a WWE comeback would definitely be welcomed by those backstage. Next up, WWE creative plans changed. There continues to be a ton of frustration surrounding the booking of Women's World Champion Liv Morgan. Morgan has been presented as a total afterthought on the Raw brand since winning the world title, and she now finds herself in the Queen of the Ring, which is clearly a sign that WWE has zero idea what to do with her reign. According to Sean Ross Sapp on Fightful Select's latest Q&A series, a lot of creative plans changed in WWE following WrestleMania, and Morgan's title reign was one of the casualties of this. A lot of creative plans changed after WrestleMania, for better or for worse. I don't think I can even say for better or for worse. It's worse. Stephanie Vaquer was hurt, and I guess the only idea they had for the top prize was a rematch. It makes no sense to not have a title program for Liv Morgan, and it makes less sense to put her in the Queen of the Ring to not defend a title. Sean Ross Sapp adds that this is a consequence of too many titles within the company. Just puzzling booking. Obviously, the Women's World title is not something that should be done away with, but ultimately this stuff is a product of too many titles. Morgan is still yet to have defended the title a single time since she won it, and there doesn't appear to be any title defenses planned anytime soon. Next up, the real reason for a WWE exit. It's been a number of years since the Revival aka FTR left WWE. Now Cash Wheeler has revealed one of the reasons why the duo exited WWE. Speaking to LNG Productions, Wheeler stated that when the WWE decided to separate their popular FTR KO stable in 2019, they knew the writing was on the wall. I thought that we could really do something cool with him, and Randy was a big proponent of pushing for it. I think he just lost to Kofi or something along those lines, but we still thought we were going to get a chance to do stuff together. And we knew if they killed that they didn't really have any expectations or plans for us. And when they drafted us to separate shows, we were like, alright, yeah, I think the writing's on the wall here, as far as what our ceiling is ever going to be. Now, the stable was only in existence for a short length of time, yet they managed to firmly connect with the crowd. Unfortunately, during this era of WWE, it was hard to fully invest in anything because Vince McMahon was prone to dropping storylines and groups without any rhyme or reason. And finally, TNA is doomed. Now, final story today looks at the ongoing chaos within TNA. TNA hit headlines yesterday after it was revealed that Tommy Dreamer departed the company, and hours later, it was also revealed that Sami Callihan is also exited the promotion. In relation to Dreamer, who served as head of TNA Creative, a replacement is already being lined up, and it's reportedly going to be Road Dogg. Fightful Select were the first to report this rather shocking story. Tommy Dreamer is out as TNA's head of creative. Tommy Dreamer said that he and Carlos Silva had a conversation regarding his departure this week. Fightful immediately heard from industry sources that Road Dogg has been discussed within TNA as a potential replacement for Tommy Dreamer. Road Dogg left WWE earlier this year. When it comes to the exit of Callihan, this is one of the more puzzling departures. According to Fightful Select, the talented star believed he was getting involved in TNA Creative, but he was outright fired instead. Callihan noted on Wednesday that he thought he was getting a call to head up Creative and instead was fired from TNA. Sources we spoke to in TNA in both the staff and the roster side of things say he was a well-liked agent and a producer, with a number of the roster telling us that they had pushed for him to be added to Creative for months. I was also noted that Callihan was also working in the marketing department and was a part of the resurgence in TNA merchandising. Hopefully more information surfaces in the coming days related to what on earth is happening in the promotion. There's been so many exits. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.